you was obviously very exciting in your last fight and your win over Sammy Stout. Can you talk through how that fight felt? And coming off of the tough loss to Al Quinter, you could sort of see the emotion in your face following the win. It couldn't have gone any better for you, presumably.
Yeah, it was a lot of frustration. I've been up and down over the last year, so I've had some good wins, some judge decisions. What do you call it? The no contest with Melvin, you know. So it's been a bit of a rocky road, but all in all, I've enjoyed it, and I'm just happy. And all that's off my back now, off my chest, and I need to see it on the straight and narrow. Just keep my head down and keep working hard, being healthy, staying fit, staying in shape, being in the best place that I can be at Alliance, training out there 24/7, and yeah, just getting back in, keeping in the win column and getting the wins together and moving forward in my career, not up and down like a roller coaster that I've been on.
Yeah, and you touched on Alliance there, which is sort of bring me to the next point. How detrimental do you feel in your career the move overseas has been for you? And looking across, I mean, this card in particular, there's a number of European fighters who are fighting on the card who still are based in their hometowns. You've got some guys from Scotland. How much do you feel that it has impacted you as a fighter, and what is your recommendation for fighters to make the trip abroad?
Well, I've always been the type of fighter that's travelled to train with different athletes, different trainer partners, different coaches. Even from before the UFC, I was travelling down to Nottingham, I was travelling to London, and just to go around to train. I've always been one of the guys that test myself against other people in the gym, and always wanting to learn new things. So for me, it's been massively important to travel and train. Literally everywhere I go, I train. I find somewhere to train. I find someone to train with. Literally, my whole life revolves around training. Even if we go on holiday for 2 weeks, I'll find a place where I can train. So for me, it's definitely made me into the fighter that I am today. It's definitely made us a lot more open-minded in my fighting. Being a little bit more aware of some of the areas that I don't like fighting, and going out there and getting put into positions where I don't like fighting and having to fight from there, and it's made us into the fighter that I am today. You know, I'm not saying that I'm the best jiu-jitsu player in the world, I'm not saying that I'm the best wrestler in the world, but you can match us with these guys and I beat them, you know what I mean? And that's because I go out and travel and train at these places where I get beat up. I get beat up in training because I want to improve, I want to fight mixed martial arts, and I want to be the best at mixed martial arts. So you got to get beat up in these areas what you're not very good at, and you got to be willing to get beat up to get better.
And your division in particular has recently had a big change at the top with Dos Anjos taking the belt from Pettis. As a fighter, how encouraging is that to see someone like Pettis, who's been reigning at the top for such a long time, get knocked off the top? And does that encourage you to sort of up your game at all and to try and get there?
Well, it doesn't encourage us in like, oh my God, Pettis got beat. Anyone can get beat in this sport. Anyone can get beat in this division. I actually thought Pettis was going to win that fight. I was quite surprised, but I wasn't like, oh my God, Pettis got beat. Listen, this is the most stacked division in the UFC. Every fighter's turning it on. Every fighter's getting better and better all the time, and you've got to follow up with that, you know. You've got to keep improving, you've got to keep growing, but anything's possible in this sport. I've always had the mindset and the mind power believing that I can be a world champion. You know, look, the UFC just happens to give us the opportunity, give us the chance to put us in there with whoever they want. Whoever has got the belt, I'll fight, you know, and I'll prove to the world that I'm here to fight, and I'll never quit, and I'll keep fighting, and I'll not stop until I get what I want, you know, and that's the belt, you know. I'll keep fighting. Everyone's talking about Conor McGregor, you know, and everyone's talking about it. Even me right now, his name come up in this conversation, right? And I seen on your face you were going to get there. So, like, everyone's talking about him, and you cannot knock the kid. He's talked his way into this. He's talked his way into a world title. He's backed it up with a few good wins. Do you know what I mean? Is everyone going to turn out to be a little bit more like Conor McGregor? I've noticed it massively. Everyone's trying to talk. Everyone's trying to have a character now. Do you know what I mean? But that just isn't me. Do you know what I mean? That's just not who I am. I'm not the talk. I'm not a, like, I don't really, like, I'm not really a showbiz type of person. Do you know what I mean? Fighting isn't about fame to me. You know, fighting's fighting, and fighting's what I love to do. And as long as I'm putting on good fights and fans want to see good fights, that's all I'm here for. And people can do what they want, people can do their thing. It's cool. I'm cool with it. Makes the sport bigger and makes bigger fights. And all the best to everyone out there trying to pretend to be people like Conor McGregor, you know what I mean? So I think it's foolish for some people to try to be someone that they're not, because you can see fake person straight off the bat, you know what I mean? Conor does it because it's natural to him, you know, and it works for him. Not everyone's going to be as good as him at that.
And you've been in the sport since sort of 2004, so quite a while now. What's the one biggest thing you've seen change since starting out as a martial artist, and do you feel the sport is moving in the right direction?
Well, the biggest thing that we just talked about is definitely the characters in the sport's changed completely. Within the athletes, the techniques, the fighters, it's all grown massively for the better. The fighting is definitely more matched now, because there's so much more mixed martial artists, you know, good at everything now. Do you know what I mean? So the fights is definitely better and more interesting. But the other side of it is the fake WWE side of it. What is definitely changed massively. You know, but when I first started fighting, like a few years ago and stuff, it was just like two guys who were two tough guys who were going to fight each other, and they were the hard men. Do you know what I mean? And it was like tension between the fights. Now it's more like story. There's more story behind it. Do you know what I mean? This guy used to train with this guy. This guy's coaches with this guy's coach. And do you know what I mean? The sport's evolved. The sport's grown. There's more fans. There's more stories behind it now. So that's what I've noticed about it.